So how much faster do you think you were on this in the stock bike?
3 seconds.
Not even close. Hey, this is Mike Lindsay and Steven Tokarski here from Vital MX. We've got a really fun bike today. We're out of Fox Raceway. We've got AEO Powersports KTM Racing's one of their last 25 race bikes. This is my boy Avery Long's race bike that they re-prepped for us. We'll actually get a little bit of a hodgepodge. Avery's a tall guy, so they gave us some normal pegs, some normal bar risers, and one of the guys that's a little more in the middle on suspension for Stevie to come spend the day on. But we really wanted to try this bike for two main reasons. I wanted to talk about like what these B-level development teams really have at their disposal, like how good their bikes are. And on top of that, I thought the best part was Stevie here, from his time at Yamaha, has ridden a star bike like 8 or 9 times. So you know what the pinnacle of the class feels like.
Yeah.
He knows what the pinnacle of the class feels like. And I think it's really cool to see just how far these things have come. And part of it, even when I ran my own team, like I knew what we were putting into our bikes and we still had a ways to go, but those things were that good to the point where I'm like, man, the 250 class is insane these days. So this team, AEO Powersports, is a series of dealerships owned by buddy Jeremy Schism. He started his race team, I believe, about 4 years ago, and he's basically become a development team for KTM. So they're what most people call like a B-level team, kind of them, a club. Satellite team. A lot of people fit them in that area of like kind of where like Club and Phoenix are. They've got kids coming up. There's some talent there, and KTM has kind of grown that relationship with them where, hey, these guys get really good equipment. They develop some of the bike themselves. They get some really good in-house knowledge from KTM as well. And they get a mix of riders that are the team's choice, like guys they think they can develop. And then also the KTM group kind of also sometimes one or two of the kids on the team will be sort of their decision of like, hey, we really want to see where these kids could go and see if they're capable of eventually making it to our factory squad. So
Red Bull.
Yeah, get onto the big boy team, that Husky, just any of them really across the board. And they've had that where they've helped out some of their amateur kids, like Talon Hawkins, the one you're kind of in between deal. They gave Ryder McNabb a shot. Avery here is on the team for next year. They also bringing in, speaking of that KTM kind of wanting to know, is Carson Mumford just got announced to the team for 2026, and that's part of it. KTM wants to see where Carson can go on their platform and stuff like that, and this is a really good spot for them to figure that out. So jumping into the bike really quick before I ask Stevie that first impression, fairly, I would say chassis-wise, very standard. There's nothing like too exotic here. We're not talking about like the engine has a bit of tie, but nothing really crazy on the hardware. I'll list the changes quick I can. It is WP Pro components. They are tuned by Factory Connection. They're their partner that does all their suspension setup. So we are talking about a cone valve 48 fork, the complete fork, and a lot of people still call this the track shock, but this is a Pro component shock that they go through and dial in for each of the guys on the team. Edge trick triple clamps. Wheels by W, I believe they are Honda hubs on some Excel A60 rims. They play around with their gearing, Motomaster DID chains here, SKDA for the graphics, guts for their seats, lightweight seat foams. Like I said, ODI for controls, ASV helping out there. Really, like I said, when I actually started listing off, there's not too many parts beyond that. It's a lot of little stuff that's available from KTM and a lot of little trickery. And then, of course, what everybody wants to know about a 250 team is what is going on with the engine package. This is not a factory bike, but this is a package that KTM has given them really good input on. I think that's the terminology I'm allowed to use. But so it's really good.
You're always trying to get in trouble.
Oh, always. That's my job. So again, from the outside looking in, it looks just like a very nicely tuned KTM 250, and to bring in a part of this, we did bring a stock Gas 250 Rockstar edition I had laying around. So we had a stock platform to evaluate this again today. So Stevie, first impression, spin a couple laps. What was it? Like I said, the bar is high. You know where the bar can be in this class.
Yeah, but I haven't been on that bar in a couple years. So it right out of the gate, I was really impressed. Within a couple laps, I was just like, holy shit, this thing's got a lot of low end power, a lot of torque, but then it also just revs so far. And second and third gear were so usable. I found myself a couple times, I thought I was in second gear in a corner and I was actually in third. So I had to do the amateur move and downshift into first to see what gear I was actually in. And I was like, no way am I in third gear. And just the throttle response, the power, it was right out of the gate. It was, as you saw, I was having a lot of fun out there. And it was just a super enjoyable ride today.
Riding pretty easy today. There was good. When you jump on a platform like this, that is, you know, we do project bikes, sometimes we ride other people's bikes, but when you get onto a platform that has raced Supercross, race nationals, Lux Turner's taken this to top 10 Supercross, almost top 5. Avery ran inside the top 5 on a couple motos on this bike. Like, you're riding a platform that can go that good national. Like, we always talk about, like, how does, you know, a stock bike, yeah, it's not going to feel as good as high load situation. When you really, really push yourself, is this the kind of platform where it sounds dumb to say, but it's just the harder you push, the better?
Yeah, for sure. And it made me want to ride faster. As you know, I crashed pretty hard like a month ago, so kind of put me like, yeah, I don't want to push, and I forgot all about that today. I was like, all right, I'm full send. I'm gonna try to push this thing as hard as possible. And yeah, the harder I rode, the more enjoyable I was. But even when I was cruising a little bit, it still was really fun and handled really well. I was surprised with that. Like light load stuff, slower speed stuff, had really good comfort. But then, yeah, I could just push this thing so hard today. Yeah. It was,
I just noticed, like, you get into a platform like this compared to a stock 250, and physically, from what I can see shooting on the camera and watching you ride some of my bikes, is roll speed on this bike is amazing. It looks so free. It looks like it carries so well section to section. Don't get me wrong, the engine's amazing. It can pull you out of, and a cool part we had today with Fox actually interjecting that is we've had some rain in SoCal. Yes. Yeah, we're not East Coast rut conditions, but we had some good deep ruts. We had some soft soil to load the bike, so it's pulling you out of those sections, but I'm even just watching how easy it looks to carry momentum section to section.
Yeah, the amount of engine braking compared to the stock bike, which we hopped on, is night and day difference. This has so much less engine braking. It's so free feeling, free revving. It wants to pull you out of everything. It's just such a more exciting character than the stock engine, and just makes you want to ride more aggressive, be on the throttle harder, and just push a little more.
So here's the fun one. We did go ahead and bring that stock bike. Not only as a comparison, I straight up wanted to see the lap time, and I knew there'd be a difference. I know this bike is that good. Again, this is a very top level bike. I would say a couple years ago, this is truly what a factory KTM probably felt like. Like, we're only a little bit off at this point.
Yeah, to me, after riding it, I sit there and I'm like, damn, like, how does it get better than this, you know? Like, this is such a good platform engine-wise that I just can't comprehend it being so much more better than this. And obviously, the factory bikes probably are a little better, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. So you take this package again, just to really massage test. These guys haven't gone crazy. And you said you were surprised there isn't more, as all teams gotten really weird in chassis stuff. These guys keep it pretty contained and simple. They know the platform's good. They spend a good amount of time with us. See, Jay Whipple, who's the team trainer, is a really good bike setup guy. He actually helped you settle this in for you a little bit this morning with a couple tweaks.
Yeah, so today we did, I had a little bit, the rear shock felt really good for me out of the box. The front fork mid-stroke was just a little, it felt like it ramped up on damping just a little too much for me, maybe because I'm not going as fast as these guys, but I was trying to.
You tried.
So just a couple little tweaks, and then it felt like the front was a little high versus the rear shock. So we went and added preload because it felt like it needed a little more hold up, kind of opposite what I thought, and then dropped the forks 2.5 millimeters, and that really helped this thing cornering wise, because I had just a little bit of like pick up in the corner where I was struggling, like area 2, area 3. It just didn't want to stay settled.
Yeah, you kept your lean angle way better.
Yeah, and with those 2 changes, and then going just a 2-click stiffer on compression, really helped the front end just have better hold up. I didn't feel that mid-stroke anymore, and just made the bike feel really balanced for me.
I think the cool part is you have that with Jay, and they sent out one of the team mechanics. Those guys have spent time with package, and here's like the difference between us taking a 250 and just be like, hey, we'll throw some engine mods at, hey, we'll have somebody do a set of suspension. Like, we can make bikes better all the time. We'll test them, like, hey, we're a second a lap faster. But when you ride a package that has fully been assembled for this reason, this is where the fun part comes in. I'm just going to drop the lap time right now.
Well, so I thought, you asked what I thought I would be faster, and I said 2 to 3 seconds. Yeah. Because the track's only 1:44 seconds or somewhere around those lap times. It's a pretty short track, and I didn't think I could get an insane difference on it. But then after I rode it,
then went to the stock bike,
I said, hey, I think I'm 5 seconds faster.
And you were dead on. When you came in off gas, I was like, dude, what do you think? 5? And it was. You did, your Your best lap time on the race bike, I did 3 timed laps per bike. You did a 140.7 on the AEO bike. On the stock gas MC250 Rockstar Edition, you did a 145.64. So a 4.9 second lap time difference. And
I was trying to push it. I was pushing just as hard, same lines, and yeah, I think just most of that comes from engine power for me, and suspension, both of those combination.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as a package, because like anybody could take, hey, stock 250, we tell you like, hey, this FC setup's real good. You can go get FC, do your stuff. Your bike's gonna probably be better than the stock one. Hey, you could throw some engine mods at it, it's gonna be better than the stock one. But this is what happens when you get a team that's put effort in, is built a package and really massaged every little piece they can, and has really spent their time, like even talking to tires. Yes, we have a scoop tire in the rear. By the way, our gas did have a scoop tire. I made sure we kept that comparison. Actually, I had a standard tire, and my gas had a scoop, and I'm like, can we please have a scoop? Yeah. Because I wanted that to be even. They run the AT82 front. That's something Whip wanted to test with the guys a bunch. They really like the AT82 off-road tire, and they run it with 15 PSI in it because it's a softer tire from off-road. So they did a bunch of like, hey, not only do we like this tire, they had to figure out that's what they wanted to run on.
I really like that tire today. I haven't spent much time on the AT82, and I was really impressed with front contact feeling, front traction feeling. There's a roller out of a corner here where you kind of like scrub and you kind of break a little bit of traction, and this thing a couple of times like turned me over it because it had such good planted feeling, which was really good. Yeah. And I was just surprised with how stock the chassis is, how this engine really improved the chassis. Sometimes when you have stronger power, it can affect the chassis in a negative way. I think it affected it in a positive way for me. It made it a little more calm, a little more slower moving, and even a little more stable for me, which we had good conditions today, and I was really happy with this package today.
I would say the biggest thing I visually saw, of course, the motor is insane. Like I can see it pull you out of the deeper corners. I can see you pull you up the Dragon's back really easy. I can see it in those sections come to life. But actually what was almost more noticeable is because of how free the engine is. And they have this thing, like the stock Austrian platform revs a lot, but when you rev the piss out of the stock bike, you feel it bind up a bit. Yeah. This thing looks so free for you into corner entry, and how easy, even if I listen to you come in, like, you never could actually find the rev limiter in third on this, I'll say that.
No.
I'd never heard it.
No.
Even when you came in close, just screaming in third, and I'd see you lay it into a corner when you would chop, like, stock bike, you go from all that inertia, all that RPM, you chop it, and you kind of see it like bind and unload the bike. This thing would just go, like, sounds dumb, it just glides into the entry, the lean angle initiates, the lean angle stays there, where the stock bike you see that little bit of standard, what you see in a standard setup, like a little bit of lean, a little bit up, a little bit of lean. This thing just, it almost makes the track not look as tore up as it is. Like the lean angle is really consistent in the corner, because that the momentum's consistent.
Yeah, I was blown away at third gear on this bike. Like I said before, I had to sometimes go down and check that I was in, but I could ride the whole track in third gear if I wanted to. And there's like a Dragon's back into a tabletop, which is probably the fastest you get on the track. And I could rev out third, but here and there I would shift up into fourth, just so when I hit that tabletop I wasn't as high in the RPMs. But other than that, I could literally ride the whole track second and third gear, sometimes just third gear by itself, which honestly, it has better third gear character than almost all the 450s. Stock form, which was literally mind-blowing to me today.
And for anybody that just heard that is all of a sudden going to go in the comments section and go, oh, this guy's insane, he says it's better than the third 450. You're saying character, like how usable it is. How, and that's what's mind-blowing, is like, okay, you had a 5-second lap time difference, you're able to get a lot out of this. I'm kind of questioning, I don't know if for a general guy, like if we grabbed a weekend warrior off the vet track, if there'd be as big a lap time difference, but I would still be venturing to guess, even if the suspension being for a pro is a little bit stiff, I think the engine package is so easy to ride because the power is so broad. Most guys would jump on this and be like, holy crap, I wish I had this. Like me and you, Joe, both, I wish we could load this up and not give it back right now.
Maybe he's gone by now, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, just like the combination of low power response and torque, and then how far and long revving it is, high RPM and over rev, like it has such a wide power character, and it does everything so good. And then like, it's so strong low to mid, but it's somewhat slow revving compared to mid to top, and then it just like wakes up mid to top and just comes screaming like, For a lower level guy, you could get in real trouble on this thing in second and third gear. Like when you hit that mid RPM, it's not out of control, but it's like, holy shit, this thing's waking up on you.
I remember I had a conversation with Avery when he first got on this, because he came from being on a Yamaha platform before, where you have a lot of that initial response.
Yeah.
And like, this has good torque, but I had to kind of explain, like, hey, especially on Supercross, you hear guys on this, like, come out of those flat corners up that triple, like you said, that RPM all of a sudden the mid starts to build. You almost have to trust it a little bit. You're like, oh, it's not really, it's making good power, but it's not coming to life. And all of a sudden it's the most closest, I would say, for a 4-stroke to experiencing sort of a 2-stroke power band. Like, you actually have this noticeable ramp up in power. So you kind of come out and it's like, rah, and all of a sudden it comes to life once it hits that certain RPM mapping. Everything starts working, all of a sudden it really pulls. Below that, it's no slouch.
No, it's almost like a 300 down low.
Yeah.
Super torquey, really good response, but then has that 125, 250 pickup and top, mid to top. And I had a blast on this thing today.
So my takeaway from this, like, yes, most people look at this and go, oh, cool video, but like, I can't experience this. And I get, like, this is a very unique package, but it's also nothing, again, suspension, chassis, everything on this is toy available. The engine package is unique, but there are a lot of really good engine builders out there. It wouldn't take, like, it's good money, don't get me wrong. This is going to an engine guy and dropping, like, this is dropping 8 or 10 grand basically, or more.
Yeah,
it is, straight up. But even for if you want to be somewhere in between, this is why I've seen more and more guys buy, especially if I buy this instead of a 450, and like, hey, especially if you got somebody, if you're willing to buy a 250 and you are like, cool, I'm okay with dumping 3 or 4 grand in the motor, because also, like, I know these guys' interval, this motor's a 20-hour interval with gnarly dudes riding it. Take something, back it off a little bit on power that you're getting from a local guy. You're not pushing it to the level of what an Avery or a Lux was this year, what Carson's gonna do next year, and like, you could still get really good time out of this. Yes, it's some money, but like, hey, if you, one thing, if dirt bike is your passion, if dirt bike's your hobby, if like, hey, you're cool with, hey, I'm gonna buy a pretty expensive bike this year, I'm gonna dump 3 or 4 grand, I'm gonna have a good time, if that's kind of your thing, I will say a lot of guys like doing a good package 250, not just buying a random part here or there, finding somebody who knows what they're doing, like, hey, let's build a package, let's build it something that's pre-proven. It's insane how good they get.
Yeah, it's the lightweight character, it's less heavy than a 450, it's easier to ride, but you can still be super lazy. Like, it's just an overall great package that they made.
Sick.
Shout out to Landon Eister, who was Lux Turner's mechanic. Now he's going to be Avery Long's mechanic. He came out, helped us today, made me feel like I was on the satellite team. I mean, I got the gear. Shout out Thor. Yeah, Thor for the awesome gear. Gave me some good old memories from my racing days.
Yeah, because your peak amateur days were Thor gear. 710, Stevie.
Yeah, they did my gear, all nice color. Shouldn't show the bottom. But.
Yeah, Stevie was having such a great time and so aggressive, he decided to show it. I mean, you want to.
We're bleeding on this bike today.
He's bleeding for you, the fan. He is bleeding to put in the time on this bike.
No tears, but blood and sweat.
Blood and sweat.
But yeah,
Happy
it was
tears?
this. Honestly, this today made me want to go race again. It made me feel like, all right, I need to get in a little more, obviously better shape, pick up some speed. But man,
I'm trying not to toot your horn, but Team Challenger has to say, like, hey, we have somebody, we got a one rider fill in for outdoor right here now.
If they have 3-lap sprint races, I'm in.
Hey, all we gotta do is make the moto. All we gotta do is send in time qualifying. After that, it's a dream. First national, what would it be next year? 34 years old?
Yeah, probably.
33 because our birthday's close. So yeah. Who would like to see Stevie race his first ever national at 34 years old? He's raced a Supercross, but somehow hasn't raced national.
Yeah, I got screwed over.
Help me wrap my head around that.
I had to do Monster Cup instead. I was going to do the last 3 in 2012, and then the team I was on wanted me to do Monster Cup, and I broke my tailbone, and it was no good.
What is up with you hitting your rear end on stuff?
I don't know.
The dual sport bike, you rubbed a hole in it today, your tailbone.
I don't know. Something about that ass.
That's an ender right there. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, any comments, anything you want to know more on, there's going to be an article attached in the description here that Stevie's going to break down more. We'll go through a lot more of the, like, written down details of exactly everything on this bike, even some of the setup stuff the guys do. We'll go through some of that. If you have any questions that Stevie can answer, throw them in the comment section. I will make him go answer for you. He's pretty good at that stuff.
Yes.
As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.